So I am struggling to find a way to talk about what just happened. I guess we start this. Bruins lose 6-1 against the Florida Panthers. The series is now tied 1-1 as we go back to Boston and for game 3 on Friday. Welcome back down into the den, everybody. Hoo boy. To quote one of the worst tweets of all time, that was a cromulent fuck crustable of a game. Tommy needy drinky. Oh man, that certainly was a game. But again, how do I talk about this? What is like? Bruins start out. Bruins jumped out to it. Bruins jumped out to a strong start. Force a terrible turnover from Brandon Montour. Nico Mikkola blows a tire, and Marchand and Brad Marchand makes the one good play that he made. It makes probably the only good play that the Bruins had all game. And keep in mind this is after having a wide ass open net and just completely putting it right past right between Sergei Bobrovsky and the goal. Oh, like you had so much real estate, could not score. But whatever. He manages to find just the tiniest gap between Nico Mikkola and the ice. He passes it to Charlie Coyle. Coyle is there to pot it. And Bruins are up 1-0, and that is the extent of the offense that the Bruins have all game, because and we don't. I don't even think we notched 15 shots on goal all game. Deep into the third period, we were at 12. And there was a point where we had 3 shots on goal in a span of 22 minutes. And it's going back to game 5 and 6 of the Toronto series, I guess, except against a team that is much better than us. But let's be real. After 4 goals, most of a good chunk of which weren't his fault. Legitimately, again, Charlie McAvoy having a terrible, legitimately probably the worst playoffs that I've ever seen Charlie McAvoy have. But regardless, Swayman is the one in net, and the Bulldog gets pulled, sent to the dog pound, and Allmark is in. Allmark ends up giving up 2 more goals, but nobody cares because oh my god, midway through the third period, it just turns into a grocery list of every single. It just turns into like a weekly grocery receipt size list of penalties. So you know what? Let's read them off right now. Oh, by the way, the Bruins end up taking a too many men on the ice penalty in the second period, which wonderful. I love it when we take too many men on the ice penalty. So let's talk about the third period. Can we talk about the third period, please, Mac? I've been dying to talk about the third period with you for the past 10 minutes. It's Pat Maroon roughing against Nick Cousins, served by Jesper Boqvist, because Pat Maroon gets a misconduct and Nick Cousins gets a misconduct. Those are at 10:25. At 11:03, we get Ulrich and Larson cross-checking James Van Riemsdyk. Eetu Luostarinen in misconduct, Justin Brazeau misconduct, Dmitry Kulikov misconduct, and Trent Frederick misconduct. At 11:58, we get a Nico Mikkola misconduct, a Brad Marchand misconduct, and a Charlie McAvoy misconduct. Thank fucking God. Get him off the ice. Is Monty again? Can you Monty again? I know you called out. Pasternak for his sloppy play in game 6 of the Toronto series. Can you please, for the love of God, call out McAvoy, because he's so frustrating to watch right now. Oh, and also a Sam Reinhart misconduct. And then at 12:42 we get it. In 12:42. Here's the funny thing: Matthew Tkachuk and David Pastrnak actually agreed to a fight, and Monty even confirms yeah, you two are go out there and try and kick his ass. Yes. And for what it's worth, I did not know that Pasta had that dog in him of trying to, because he actually kind of held his own in that fight. But Matthew Tkachuk fighting against David Pastrnak, David Pastrnak fighting against Matthew Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk misconduct and David Pastrnak misconduct, and then at 14:22, Parker Wotherspoon for slashing against against Anton Lundell. How many misconducts was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 misconducts. The total amount of penalty minutes this game. Bruins 77, Panthers 71. Yeah. That is basically the story of the game. That's the story of the game. The silver lining here. This is a massive gray cloud. Silver lining. It only counts as one loss. It only counts for one loss. Yes. And for what it's worth, I don't really think that anybody actually got seriously injured. So I know McAvoy was going up and down the tunnel, potentially with something. Same thing with Forbort. It's fucking Forbort. But I don't think that anybody is getting seriously injured. This kind of sets the tone for the rest of the series, though. We've been known about Florida. We know that they're not going to take anything lying down, and for what it's worth, they're going to be the ones who they're absolutely going to be the ones who are going to be the instigators. But here's the thing: Florida right now is in the same position as the Bruins were about a decade and a half ago. They were the ones who were instigating everything, but they also had the offense to supplement it. The Bruins, 15 shots on goal all game. 15 shots on goal all game, and 12 of them came in the first two periods. That was disheartening. That was a bit disheartening. But it's only one game. And I was talking about this on the podcast. I was talking about this on the podcast. Wheel Snipe Selly. That's the podcast that I run. Winning game 1 does not necessarily mean that you're going to win the series, but also losing game 5 doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to. Losing game 5 when you have a 3-1 series lead does not necessarily mean that you're going to blow the whole series. It's only one game. This is only one game. You are allowed to lose games in the playoffs. You just can't lose 4 in a 7-game span. That's not something that you should do. And so, what do the Bruins do from here? Push it to the side. Legitimately, don't put any stock into this game. Do not put any stock into this game. Other than the only stock that you should really put into this game is just the offensive ineptitude in the third period before you even got to a point where your 4 best forwards and your best and one of your best defensemen are ejected from the game, essentially. because this sort of offensive ineptitude showed its face in the Toronto series, and that's sort of how we lost games 5 and 6, and that's sort of how we lost game, and this is and that and those same bad habits are how we lost this game. And we can be enamored at the 148 penalty minutes. It's this game, but at the same time, those 148 penalty minutes don't entirely tell the full story. Just as the 15 shots on goal don't tell the full story. When half of our our entire top six is going down the tunnel because they got ejected. Whatever. Compartmentalize. Run it back in game 3. Coming back up here. Coming back up at the Boston. Get shit done. And that's going to be it for me tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this is a little bit bare bones. But I legit the reason why this episode is so bare bones is because I legitimately have no idea what to say about this game. I legitimately have no idea what to say about this game. In that third period, for the first time in a while, left me speechless. Yes. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys is either late Friday night. I'm going to a bar on Friday night, so I don't know. Or early on Saturday, or really early on Saturday. My commencement was on Saturday. Either way, I'll see you guys later. Take care.